I know a couple where the wife retired 5 years ahead of the husband. Let's just call them John and Diane. So before Diane retired, they created a retirement plan and they knew that it was financially sound. John was going to work for 5 more years after Diane retires, and then he was going to sell his business. So during those 5 years, after Diane retired, she had gone through kind of the transition process and rediscovered some of her hobbies and interests and social relationships, things like that. And she settled into this new life and she was happy. All the while, John was continuing to work in his business and he was happy too. And they continued to update their retirement plan over those 5 years as John continued to work. And when the time came, John ended up selling his business as planned and then retired. And he knew he was on the financial side, he was good. And the retirement plan actually looked a lot better because the business sold for more than what they were expecting. So now John was retired and he had no worries really financially, which is a great position to be in. In the beginning, he felt good. He played some golf. He slept in a little bit later. There was no work-related pressure anymore, which was a really good feeling. And maybe he played a little bit more golf, but 3 months in, things felt a little bit off. He tried looking into some of the other interests and hobbies that he had, but it just wasn't great. Something still kind of felt off. He tried also joining Diane on her daily routines. She had different things each day that she would do, but it was kind of cramping her style and something was missing because of the work being gone for John. Now, this doesn't happen to everybody, but it happened to him, and it happens more frequently than you might think. There was a sense of accomplishment he wasn't receiving because he wasn't working, and there was a sense of purpose that he wasn't receiving as well because work was done. He just wasn't that happy, and it ended up causing a strain on their marriage. And I don't tell you this to scare you away from a lot of the joys of retirement because there are plenty, but I do want you to be aware of how others have handled this journey just so you can be well prepared for different potential scenarios. Again, everybody's different. A lot of people do tend to go through what John had gone through. So in this video, I want to share some things that you can do to get closer to your ideal happy retirement and be ready ahead of time. And I want to share one thing that happy retired couples do when they're planning for their upcoming retirement. If I haven't met you yet, I'm Dave Zoller and I run a retirement planning firm with Tim and Luke and Sean and our team. And if you're currently working with a planner or an advisor that seems to be mainly focused just on the investment side of things, and you're starting to realize that there are some really important things like income planning, withdrawal strategy, tax planning that are becoming more and more important for this stage of life that you're getting into, feel free to reach out to us through our website. If we've got space, we'd be glad to have a free initial phone call with you. So you may have heard that there's two camps when it comes to retirement. There's the I'm ready to retire now, or maybe I've been ready for 10 years and I know what I'm going to do in retirement. And then the other camp is I don't know if I'm ready just yet, or what am I going to do in retirement? I'm actually reading about it in this book, which I like a lot so far, Purposeful Retirement, but they talk in the beginning about these two camps, and both are good and normal. Diane was the I'm ready now, and John was the I don't know if I'm ready, and he kind of figured that out when it was too late. But anyways, as you're thinking about your retirement, if you feel yourself leaning towards the I'm not 100% sure I'm ready, or I don't know what I'm going to do, I'd start carving out some time every other week maybe just to start thinking about a few non-financial things, a few things related to the non-financial side of retirement. Now, what does that actually mean? Or what would that look like, this carving out of time every other week? It might just be 30 minutes on a Saturday or Sunday morning with a blank journal and a few questions. For some, this self-reflection isn't easy, but it's an important step in the whole journey, especially if you're in that camp of, I don't know what I'm going to do all day in retirement. So a few questions to write down and answer during this quiet time could be, what are some lessons that I've learned from watching other people retire? People who've done it well. Really, who's someone who has done it well and why? Why do I think that? Or who's someone who looks like they didn't do it well and why do I think that? Also, another question is, who do I want to build stronger connections with when I'm retired? Another one is, how will I continue to challenge myself if I'm not working? That's a big one. And then another one is, what are people or causes I might desire to help, or maybe things that I care about? So if these sorts of questions are of interest to you, if you think you might do that exercise, I would check out the DIY retirement plan in the description below, because we included a few worksheets to help you walk through these different questions and do a lot more when it comes to getting ready, that kind of non-financial side to retirement. So that's in module 1 of the course if you want to check that out. Now, I want to share with you one thing that retired couples do to increase happiness before they retire. But first, if this has been helpful for you so far, please like this video and maybe share it with a friend who's brought up retirement to you in the past. Maybe it can help them too. So onto the one thing that happy retired couples do, and I actually read this in an article recently in Psychology Today. And here's the two big highlights here. New research suggests that part of successfully planning for retirement depends on how directly involved your partner is in your retirement planning decisions and whether or not you share the same vision for those golden years. And then the other thing that stood out here worth looking at is that people who saw their goals as more aligned with a partner's reported easier transitions into retirement and greater well-being. So I'll include the link to this article too if you want to check it out. But it makes me think of back to John and Diane. They kind of had two separate retirement dates, which is normal for a couple, but they only focused on the financial part. Maybe they could have benefited from time that they could take before Diane retired to talk about how will she use her time or what does she desire to do, and then do the same for John before he got to his retirement date. Maybe if they spent more time making sure that they understood each other's goals, that might have been a different outcome for John. I don't know. It's hard to say, but I do believe that any time you spend thinking through some of those self-reflective questions that we mentioned in this video and then also in the DIY course, it's not going to be a waste of time. So hopefully this video was helpful for you. If it was, please subscribe and then like this video, and then I'll see you in the next one. Take care.